You remember when marketing was fun? When you had time to be creative and connect with your customers? With HubSpot, marketing can be fun again. Turn one piece of content into everything you need, know which prospects are ready to buy, and see all your campaign results in one place. Plus, it's easy to use, helping HubSpot customers double their leads in just 12 months, which means you have more time to, enjoy marketing again. Visit HubSpot.com to get started for free.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 4th. I'm Ben Berkley here with Sara Friedman, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. If your first and last thought of every day isn't about dogs, you aren't doing it right. Today, we're going to be talking about Loyal, which is a startup that does that. They think about dogs all the time. And they're thinking about the $22 million they just pulled in their last fundraising round. Their focus is on canine longevity. So how do they plan to get our good boys and girls hanging out longer? Is this actually going to work? Can they please hurry? We'll cover all of that in just a minute. But first, let's give you the hits and headlines today across business and tech. First up, we're talking about the only thing other than dogs that actually matters in this world, which is pizza. Domino's is going to start selling stuffed crust pizza, which is something they held out on for a long time, but they saw that their competitors had 13 million customers purchasing theirs, and here they are, hoping that they bounce back from a lackluster last quarter. Next, there's a new study out that's going to sound so obvious, but just stick with us. So research suggests that the amount of pre-launch fundraising a startup raises has the strongest correlation with business success. Huge surprise. If you start with $1 million in funding, that ups your probability of success by 25 percentage points. But it can't just be any old $1 million. If the cash is self-financed, it can actually decrease your odds of success by 2%. So there you go. Actually, some good research there, even though it, again, did sound really obvious up front. The vibes are kind of messy in College Station, Texas, where they are testing Amazon's Prime Air drone delivery program. Citizens sent 150 complaints to the FAA complaining about the noise, calling them, quote, flying chainsaws, their cameras, and the possibility that they were maybe bothering animals. The FAA was not moved on most of those concerns, but Amazon still relented a little bit. They announced plans to relocate its drone depot, reduce flights, and switch to quieter drones. And none of it actually matters right now anyway, because Amazon has grounded all flights for software updates. Let's talk Maseratis. A $239,000 driverless Maserati MC20 Coupe set a new speed record for autonomous vehicles, clocking in at 197.7 miles per hour at Kennedy Space Center last week. I mean, I was thinking about maybe getting like a Mazda or something for my next car, but now I might want to drop what far exceeds my life savings. So finally, Deutsche Telekom plans to release an AI phone in 2026, first targeting the European market, but this device is going to retail for less than $1,000. It has a baked-in AI assistant called Magenta AI, and it is paired with AI search startup Perplexity in this project. So this is potentially the latest in what will be a long arms race for putting AI into your pocket. But let's talk about our main story now, which is dogs, specifically happier, healthier, and longer living dogs, the best kind of dogs, one would argue. There is a continually emerging industry around canine longevity, and one of its big players just got its latest cash infusion. So Sara, what can you tell us about Loyal's $22 million splash?
Yeah, so this canine longevity startup just closed, as you said, $22 million in their most recent fundraising round. And that's in addition to $45 million that they raised in a Series B round in 2024. So that brings total investments to over $150 million. And the startup's goal is simple. It wants to help dogs live longer. The average lifespan for a dog is between 10 and 13 years, depending on its size, which for anyone who's ever owned or met a dog is obviously way too short. So they are working to change that.
I guess I've definitely wished this a lot and it has not worked. So I guess let's talk about how they're planning to do this, because it's a really interesting, scientific move here.
Yeah, so their first product slated for FDA approval is a daily tablet for dogs over the age of 10, so senior dogs that weigh 14 plus pounds. They are undergoing a pretty massive clinical trial over the span of 4 years and aiming for ultimately approval sometime later this year. The pills essentially target metabolic dysfunction, which is a main cause of aging. So basically, we're reducing the chance and severity of diseases that are associated with growing older. So this is meant to be preventative and stop these diseases from happening in the first place, which would hopefully prolong a dog's life by a healthy amount.
And also notably, I think the fact that they're focusing on 14 plus pound dogs, which, I think their lifespan is like half of smaller dogs. So that could be a really big game changer for just a lot of breeds going forward. I guess they are not the only ones in this space. How do they kind of weigh up against others who are trying to do this very noble task?
Yeah, I mean, we've covered this many times through the lens of different startups. We know American consumers spend an unbelievable amount on their pets, rightly so. I think they're estimated to spend $150.6 billion on their pets in 2024 was where the final figure was coming in. So it makes sense that Loyal's not alone in trying to take a share of that figure. We've written in the past about a startup called Embark. So they're a DNA testing company for dogs. They've raised around $94 million in funding to assess health risks. It's pretty much 23andMe for your puppy. And they also recently rolled out a line of supplements, some of which are focused on longevity and, these same types of things we're all trying to accomplish, getting our pets to live longer. There's also a German startup called Mammally, and they're focused entirely on supplements with a whole line of longevity products that promise to promote cell renewal, protect against damage. So there's a large amount of startups in this space. There's also plenty that we've written about in the past. Farmer's Dog is a big one that are focusing on human-grade dog food with these deeply customizable options that's catered very specifically to your pet and their needs. Again, kind of all with the goal of healthier dogs who will be around longer.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really nice life mission to do this. It's great to see these startups doing it. And also, again, it's a good business, theoretically, if you can crack this, given how much people are spending on it. And, you can see so much funding going into this. This is not just like a cute thing for pets. This is a very legitimate field that is being built. And I think it has a lot more potential because they seem to suggest that could play out not just for dogs having their lives extended, but if you do this, you can actually help humans live longer. Can you drill into what that's all about?
Yeah, so that's kind of the premise behind Loyal, at least according to its CEO. The idea here is if we can figure out what causes diseases linked to aging, there might not be too far of a jump between humans and dogs. She pointed out that we share all of the environmental factors, the air we're breathing, the house we live in. Many times, depending on how strict you are, literally the food that you're eating with your dog. So if we could, in theory, slow down or reverse aging with our pets, there's a world in which that we could apply these findings to human longevity long term.
I like it. I mean, this feels like if whoever solves this, I think they instantly get like a Nobel Prize. They get like sainthood. I guess like a really nice gift card to Petco or something. This would be an incredible accomplishment. And hopefully this is something that we see some progress on next time we're coming around to this industry.
I hope so too.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We are a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at The Hustle Daily. We will catch you tomorrow.